Thousands of years ago, an African civilization built entire cities underground, carved directly from solid rock, with no modern tools, no machinery, and no outside help. These cities still stand today, and they are so extraordinary that engineers cannot fully explain how they were built. This is Africa's greatest architectural secret. In the highlands of Ethiopia, the ancient Zagwe dynasty created something that defies explanation. They didn't build on top of the ground. They carved down into it. Using only hand tools, they excavated massive chambers, tunnels, churches, and entire communities from solid volcanic rock. The scale of what they accomplished is staggering. Thousands of workers coordinated over generations to carve these structures with millimeter precision. The planning required, knowing exactly where each chamber would be, how water would flow, how light would enter, demonstrates architectural understanding that rivals modern engineering. People lived their entire lives in these underground cities. Homes, markets, gathering spaces, and community areas were all carved from rock. The temperature underground stayed constant year-round, cooler in summer, warmer in winter. This was sustainable architecture 1,000 years before the concept existed. The water systems carved into these underground cities are particularly remarkable. Channels were cut at precise angles to direct rainwater through the rock, providing communities with running water using only gravity and careful engineering. No pipes, no pumps, no technology beyond human intelligence and hand tools. The most extraordinary structures are the underground churches of Lalibela. 11 churches carved entirely from single pieces of rock, not built stone by stone, but carved downward and inward from the top, removing everything that wasn't the church until the building emerged from the rock like sculpture on a massive scale. The king who commissioned these structures, King Lalibela, is said to have received divine instruction to build a new Jerusalem in Africa. Whether divine or human in inspiration, what his workers created over decades of labor is genuinely miraculous in its achievement. Life in these underground communities was sophisticated and organized. Markets functioned, governance operated, religious life flourished, and culture developed in spaces that had been literally carved from the earth. This was not primitive cave dwelling. It was advanced urban planning executed in stone. When European explorers first encountered the rock-hewn cities of Ethiopia, their reaction was one of history's most revealing moments. They genuinely could not believe Africans had built them. Some wrote that they must have been built by ancient Europeans or supernatural forces, because the alternative challenged everything they believed about Africa. The full extent of these underground cities is still being discovered. Archaeological surveys continue to find new chambers, new tunnels, and new structures that have been hidden for centuries. The civilization that built these cities was larger, more organized, and more sophisticated than anyone initially realized. Today, the rock-hewn churches of Lalibela are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, visited by hundreds of thousands of people annually. Engineers who study them still cannot fully explain how they were built with the tools available at the time. The achievement remains partially mysterious even to modern science. Entire cities carved from solid rock, underground churches that confound modern engineers, water systems that still function after 1,000 years. Africa built this, with hand tools and human genius. If this blew your mind, subscribe to Afri Untold for more forgotten African stories every week. These stories deserve to be told.